vciso-au Cyberwatch, 10th January 2026. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By vciso-au DW Report. ANZ. None Australia. None News from Deep Web. Dark Daily Web. Paris à cœur ouvert. Data breach exposes. Contributor info. Paris à cœur ouvert, a digital platform dedicated to civic engagement and public feedback in Paris, has allegedly been compromised, leading to the exposure of user data. A listing appeared on a dark web forum claiming that the website's security configuration allowed for the scraping of sensitive information. The leak reportedly involves the details of 617 contributors, which were allegedly accessible through an insecure server response. Romani India data breach exposes 1.5 GB of customer and KYC data. Moni India, an Indian fintech platform, has allegedly been compromised in a significant data security incident. On January 8, 2026, the organization was listed on a dark web forum by a threat actor who claims to have exfiltrated the company's full production database. The breach reportedly involves a 1.5 GB SQL dump encompassing multiple schemas, including insurance data, online KYC records, and WhatsApp bridge integrations. Exploit Sale Alert, Romania. A threat actor identified as Melbond 135 is selling multiple exploits hosted on a Romanian VPS. The offering includes an N8N-based automated exploitation scanner with proof of concept available. Each exploit is priced at $50, indicating low-cost access to active exploitation tools. RDP Access Auction, Italy. A threat actor known as Big Bro is auctioning RDP access to an Italian manufacturing organization with domain user privileges across approximately 50 hosts. No samples have been shared, and the auction starts at $850, with $250 increments and a flash price of $1,500. Comedyworks.com. Data breach. United States Comedyworks.com, an entertainment and ticketing platform, reportedly suffered a data breach in January 2026, with over 200,000 user records leaked and later posted on a dark web forum by threat actor Lulzintel. The exposed data includes customer and order databases containing sensitive details such as personal information, contact data, password hashes, and partial payment card information. 1. CISA retires 10 emergency cyber orders in rare bulk closure. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has retired 10 emergency directives issued between 2019 and 2024. CISA stated that the required actions under these directives have either been completed or are now covered by Binding Operational Directive, BOD, 22.01. This marks the largest number of emergency directives CISA has closed at a single time. Emergency directives are issued by CISA to rapidly mitigate emerging cybersecurity threats. By statute, these directives are intended to remain active for the shortest time possible. Following a comprehensive review, CISA determined that the directives were no longer needed as standalone requirements. BOD 22.01, titled Reducing the Significant Risk of Known Exploited Vulnerabilities, now encompasses the required actions. BOD 22.01 leverages CISA's Known Exploited Vulnerabilities (KEV) catalog to track actively exploited flaws. Federal civilian agencies are required to patch vulnerabilities listed in the KEV catalog by deadlines set by CISA. By default, agencies have up to 6 months to patch vulnerabilities associated with CVEs issued before 2021. Vulnerabilities disclosed after 2021 must typically be patched within 2 weeks. CISA retains the authority to enforce shorter remediation timelines when vulnerabilities are deemed high risk. In a recent case, agencies were required to patch Cisco devices affected by CVE 2025-22333 and CVE 2025-22362 within 1 day. Many of the retired emergency directives addressed vulnerabilities that were quickly exploited and later added to the KEV catalog. The retired directives include responses to major incidents such as SolarWinds Orion, Microsoft Exchange on-prem vulnerabilities, Pulse Connect Secure, Windows Print Spooler, VMware vulnerabilities, and a nation-state compromise of Microsoft corporate email systems. 2. Fog ransomware, attacking U.S. organizations, leveraging compromised VPN credentials. A new ransomware variant named Fog has emerged as a significant threat to educational and recreation organizations across the United States. Arctic Wolf Labs began monitoring Fog ransomware activity starting in early May 2024 across multiple incident response cases. Approximately 80% of affected organizations operated in the education sector, while 20% were part of the recreation sector. All identified victims were located within the United States, indicating a geographically focused campaign. Fog operates as a ransomware variant rather than a distinct ransomware group, separating malware development from attack execution. This distinction highlights the presence of multiple independent affiliate teams rather than a single unified threat actor. The organizational structure behind Fog remains unclear, though evidence suggests coordinated threat actor activity. The last documented attack activity in investigated cases occurred on May 23, 2024. Threat actors primarily gained initial access by leveraging compromised VPN credentials across two separate VPN gateway vendors. Once inside networks, attackers used pass-the-hash techniques against administrator accounts to establish RDP connections to Windows servers running Hyper-V and Veeam. Credential stuffing, PSExec, RDP, and SMB were used for lateral movement, while Windows Defender was disabled prior to encryption. The ransomware creates a file named dblog.sys in the %app data% directory and uses ntdll.dll with ntquery system information for system profiling. Encryption behavior is controlled by a JSON configuration, specifying RSA public keys, file extensions, typically .fog or .flocked, ransom note names, and service shutdown actions. The encryption process employs multi-threading, 2 to 16 threads, Windows cryptographic APIs, and deletes backups using vssadmin.exe delete shadows. All quiet. No data exfiltration was observed, suggesting financially motivated, rapid encryption attacks rather than complex double extortion schemes. 3. Beware of fake WinRAR website that delivers malware with WinRAR installer. A newly discovered malware campaign is using fake WinRAR download websites to distribute the WinZipper malware. The campaign originates from links shared across various Chinese websites, targeting users downloading WinRAR from non-official sources. Attackers exploit the common practice of downloading software from third-party sites instead of official vendor pages. The Trojanized installer bundles malicious code alongside the legitimate WinRAR installer, making detection difficult. Once executed, the malware profiles the victim's system by accessing Windows profile information. This profiling allows the malware to select and deploy the most effective payload for each target system. The adaptive behavior increases success rates across different hardware and software configurations. Malwarebytes analysts identified the campaign after uncovering a suspicious file hidden behind multiple layers of obfuscation and compression. The infection begins with a file named WinRAR x64713scp.zip, containing a UPX-packed executable with structural anomalies. When unpacked, the file reveals two embedded components, the legitimate WinRAR installer and a password-protected archive named setup.hta. The setup.hta archive is the primary malicious payload and remains obfuscated until runtime. The malware unpacks directly into system memory, preventing basic file-based detection mechanisms. During analysis, the malware was observed spawning nimicilla360.exe, a component linked to the WinZipper malware family. WinZipper functions as a backdoor Trojan, enabling remote access, data theft, system control, and secondary malware deployment. Known malicious domains involved in the campaign include winrartdo.com, winrarx64.com, and winrarzip.com, all currently blocked by Malwarebytes protections. Ransomware victims, United States. The Carlson law firm, business services, legal, St. Ignatius of Loyola, Catholic community, education, religious organization, McCraw Oil, energy, Swavel Group, Ware-Best Tex Mills, manufacturing, textiles, About Women, OBGYN, healthcare, Canada, CA, 888 Transport, transportation, logistics. Final note from vciso-au. Australia and New Zealand remain relatively untouched this week, but the global threat landscape continues to shift. Critical infrastructure, software supply chains, and endpoint security are under siege. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Yeswanth Bodhida.